very distant. I was going over, taking meals, eating, watching sports with him, and all of a sudden I have the power of attorney and the executor of the will. And we're sitting in a hospital and they're talking to us about hospice. Right. And I had no idea what hospice was.
That's part of what I do. I do advanced care planning education, and I really don't like the title of that, but that is what it is listed under Medicare. But I do so much more. If I were to name it something, I would probably call it death ed. And I would start in high school, just like driver's ed, sex ed. It's basic information you need in your back pocket to be able to whip out when the time arises.
Yeah. It's very unnerving to be in a room with a person who is 91 and failing and talking about certain subjects.
It's much easier to have the conversation prior to the crisis, and that's what I'm striving to do. This is not something I would have consciously chosen as a career. I just feel like I've been given all the talents, the skills, the education, and to be a bright light in a very dark topic.
Mr. Budd was very graphic in his speaking. And at one point, nurses looked at him and they said, "Mr. Budd, do you want to be resuscitated?" He looked at me, and in so many words, he said, "Do I want to be resuscitated?" And I said, "If nobody's in this room and you stop breathing, I'm not giving you mouth to mouth." And he looked at the nurses and he went, "Oh no, I don't want to be resuscitated." Well, but that's a very strange question.
Well, so many people don't understand the whole process, the whole system. I talk about everything from palliation to hospice, which are two different things.
Okay, what is palliation?
That just means symptom management. That doesn't mean we're stopping treating. We're just making your symptoms better, be it constipation, pain, shortness of breath, but we're still trying to make you better.
Got it.
Hospice involves when we recognize that you are going to die, and two physicians would not disagree that you would die within 6 months. So today's world, we're Americans, we're never going to die.
So pretty close. Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
So, and if we leave the decisions to our loved ones, all they want to do is keep us here. They want nothing more than us to be here. And sometimes my experience as a nurse tells me that there are worse things than death. And
there are people that don't want to be here.
Well, and dying a good death is possible. I don't think most people, if you ask them if they wanted to die in critical care with tubes coming out of every orifice, then some, that they would sign on for that. But that is what's commonly happening, and it's costing our medical system, it's just burden.
So you come in, and again, we're talking to Kate Butler. Her businesses are in the know. You come in ahead of time.
Yes.
You get together with a family, and you sit down and you pre-plan, and you can get down to the earliest details of medication management.
We talk about, first I ask the person that I'm speaking with what their goal is, what do they want to know. A lot of times people think that my service is just for the sick or the old, and it's truly not. You really need information, working information. I've learned that people don't like to talk about themselves. They're interested in their parents, helping their parents. So I have another program for adults of aging relatives to help their parents stay independent in their home as long as possible, and to kind of give them an overview of Medicare, Medicaid, the system, how it works. And my focus is to get people to do an advance directive. I'm an officer of the court. I can notarize those, but
What is an advance directive?
That tells the medical team your goals of care, essentially. It tells us who do we go to in an emergency when you're unable to speak for yourselves. Okay, who else, in case that person is unwilling or unable to talk for you. And it has two medical situations. If the doctor says your death is imminent, do you essentially want the kitchen sink or do you not? And if you are in a vegetative state, do you want the kitchen sink or do you not? Or do you want some kind of blend of in between? And then it asks about organ donations. Do you want to donate your organs? And then you sign it in the presence of 2 witnesses. But people think that if they have an advance directive, they don't need to come see me. And there is so much more. I know when I talk to someone, it usually takes about an hour to go through everything step by step. Everyone has an aha moment. You know, they come in thinking they know what they think they know, but they come away realizing, oh my goodness, I learned something I had no idea. Thank you so much. So I'm just trying to get the word out. I do group sessions. A lot of people, these kinds of conversations are they feel trapped because they're so painful.
And they feel alone.
Well, and you know, I think it's painful because we wait for the crisis to occur. So I'm trying to kind of circumvent that and get ahead of that. I can also do one-on-one or families, or I can do house calls.
So how do people get in touch with you?
Well, I have a website, www.rn, like registered nurse, KNOW.com. I have a huge office, a suite of offices actually, over next to City Center in Newport News on Thimble Shoals, Suite D1. It's D1, Neil. And also my contact number is area code 757-869-8529. I'm there alone, so I might not be able to answer the phone. Just leave me a voicemail message. I also teach American Heart Association CPR and first aid.
Oh, very good.
So I do the full range of those courses, and if you have more than 4 people, I can come to you.
That is, I do want to have you back to dive in a little bit more, into a little more detail with respect. It's very hard in a short period of time to grasp what RN the Know does,
Yeah.
other than pre-planning and helping you get ready for anything that might happen.
Yeah.
I think that is a basic definition.
People can also, if they're in a crisis, they can certainly reach out to me. But I am unique. I'm like a unicorn. There is no one out there doing what I'm doing. I just feel like I've been called to do it. I may go broke in the process, but I feel good about what I'm doing. It's very needed. Hopefully you've learned that I'm easy to talk to. I even have a little bit of wit about me. So, but thank you very much for having me here this morning.
Her name is Kay Butler. The company is RN The Know. You can go to rntheknow.com. You can call 757-869-8529. Kay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil.
It's 8:44. We've got Riverside Wellness coming in a moment.
If you suffer from opioid addiction, there are avenues you can take to help.
You were very good.
Seek help